And it was Charles Leclerc who put in a stellar performance yesterday to put it on pole with his teammate Carlos Sainz alongside him on the front row. Let's just talk about starts, Karun, because of course it was that one in 2021 which Max just nailed, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It was a front row lock-off for Mercedes, but they opened up the door. Valtteri Bottas moved across to the middle of the track and just opened it up for Max to come around the outside. He did have to pick his braking point to perfection there and make sure he didn't overshoot the first corner. Bottas then got tagged by Daniel, and that was the end of that. But you know, Max is obviously starting in the same position, and he's got two teammates in front, the two red cars instead of two silver and black ones. But yeah, just see the onboard. This is the moment there where Bottas moved right, and that's what Ferrari should not be doing today. They need to make the cars as wide as possible and just block the track off for him.
So we've got 5 lights on ahead of the drivers. It's lights out and away we go, and the Ferrari's getting away well, but I think Verstappen got away better, and he's trying to slice through the middle of the two red machines, and they're going wheel to wheel, Verstappen and Leclerc. Verstappen will have the inside line going into turn 1. He's gone from third to first before here in the first corner. Perez goes round the outside. Perez makes contact with Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen will lead the Grand Prix because Leclerc will have to give that place back, but it's all over in a heartbeat for Sergio Perez.
And the broken front wing there for Charles Leclerc. He'll have to come in the pits and have that change unless it falls off very quickly, but he'll lose a lot of performance.
Now, is there significant damage on that Red Bull? Can he continue in the race? I wonder. We've seen Sergio Perez go from last at the end of a first lap to go and win a race. Happened in Sakir, didn't it, in the Bahrain International Circuit? But it ain't gonna happen here today. That is Sergio Perez out of the race, under pressure for his Red Bull future. Tried the move into turn 1. If it came off, he'd be a hero. It hasn't, and it's 0 points for him today. Double yellow flag being waved in sector 2, and that's why. And that is the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, who we saw going off the track at the final corner on the previous lap, but he stopped here at turn 9. That is a big off for Kevin Magnussen, who shakes his hands just to make sure everything is okay. And we have a safety car. Lando Norris pitted and has come back out in 10th place. That safety car was very good timing. And, oh no, we have a red flag now. I was going to say that's very good timing for Lando Norris. Oh, but McLaren obviously waited and thought, no, we're going to get him in and take the cheap pit stop. So then, it's half a Grand Prix still to come. 5 lights on. Lights out and away we go. Verstappen's reaction time was better than Charles Leclerc. Here comes Lewis Hamilton picking up the slipstream on the Ferrari. Carlos Sainz goes off, almost onto the grass, has to settle behind the Mercedes. Verstappen leads down towards turn 1. Leclerc goes over to the outside. Is Hamilton going to dive down the inside this time? He tries, but Leclerc covers him off. Then comes Carlos Sainz, George Russell, right in the thick of it, but he might get compromised and makes contact with Daniel Ricciardo. Then comes Oscar Piastri and Yuki Tsunoda. Logan Sargent struggling in the back, along with Lance Stroll, but Verstappen got that restart done perfectly. Verstappen clear of all of his rivals by 2.5 seconds. Charles Leclerc not clear of Lewis Hamilton, who is much closer down the straight here, and almost goes onto the grass, kicks up a load of dust as he gets past Charles Leclerc and into turn 1. And the crowd that did stay here at the Mexico City Grand Prix are absolutely loving that particular overtake. It's Verstappen now from Hamilton. Another move for Lando Norris on the cards here. 12th place as he powers past Pierre Gasly. Lando Norris on his medium tyre doesn't want to be sat behind Esteban Ocon on his mediums for very much longer, and therefore tries to make the move going into turn 1 and just squeezes into turn 1 ahead of Esteban Ocon and manages to stay away from the rear of Nico Hülkenberg.
Lando Norris is on a charge, isn't he?
So that is a very important position for Daniel Ricciardo to try and hang on to.
And I don't think he is going to hang on to it for very much longer. This 6th position, that is. Lando Norris under braking, closed right up on the Alpha Tower. He's got DRS once again. He's going to try and make the move towards turn 4. Ricciardo covers him off though, forces him to the outside. They make might make the briefest of contacts there, but Lando Norris is still through, and Ricciardo fought that as hard as he possibly could, but Norris was up to the job, and that was brilliant.
Look at George Russell wildly out of position here.
Lando Norris is going to go for this, down into the next corner. Don't often see an overtake here. Lando Norris has got George Russell. So George Russell got out of position, and Lando Norris took that 5th place off him. Norris, what a drive this has been. And there is our race leader and soon-to-be race winner. The Nigel Mansell corner awaits for Max Verstappen. Mansell, who won 31 races in his career. Verstappen, who's won 31 races since the start of last season. Round the outside of that corner goes Max Verstappen to take the checkered flag and win the Mexico City Grand Prix. And it is 16 wins this season for Max Verstappen, and another record smashed by the 3-time world champion.